Welcome back to Between the Goalposts. Nate Hampton, Jesse Krieger, this son of a bee right here, Andy Reid. Right now we're going to talk about Tim Tebow again. We're going to go over his last week's performance. Jesse, what you got to say about last week's performance against the Chiefs?
I saw an amazing tweet about Tim Tebow, which just made me laugh out loud. It said, Tebow is to football as Flo Rida is to rap. No one can understand him, but he keeps winning. Well, neither the club nor Chiefs could handle Tebow last week. For all 8,000 runs that they ran and all 2 passes.
55-8 is the ratio.
Close.
Well, the thing about those passes, he only completed 2 of them, but out of the 6 incompletions, 4 of them were on target. So technically, it should be 6 out of 8, and all of a sudden, he's a pretty good quarterback again. If you don't need to throw the ball, why do it?
Yeah, I feel like he's better when he can lock on to a player, particularly deep. Like in the preseason, we saw him hit that nice seam route to Willis that was just a true dime, and the touchdown to Decker was an absolute dime as well. I feel like when he can just block out everything but the one guy he's throwing to, motion and all, the ball gets exactly where it needs to go. It's when there's a lot of things crossing in front of him, and I mean...
An interesting thing that I read today was Rex Ryan talking about Tim Tebow. Talking about why it is hard to stop him when he runs is because every time they run, it's out of a basic passing formation. Mm-hmm. So the defense really can't tell what's going to happen. So people wondering why it kept working. That's why, because no matter who's back there, being the quarterback, you got to respect the pass.
Exactly. That's why the Wildcat eventually failed. Is no matter how good you are at the fake, everyone knows Ronnie Brown is not throwing the ball. Mm-hmm. But if you have an action, I mean, whatever you think of Tebow, he does play the quarterback position and he can throw the ball. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you have to respect the handoff, the keep, the pitch, or even the throw. And I think this week we'll see some triple option or quadruple option where he's going to stick the ball in Ball's chest. He's going to roll out. Royal's going to be behind him. The defense is going to come in, and he's going to drop one over the top to Decker or Willis or Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas is becoming a very well-kept secret.
Yeah.
The man's got a lot of talent.
Just the way he likes it.
One of these times, he's going to go shooting down the field, and someone's going to forget about him because the safety's going to be packing that box.
And you've got to think that Revis is going to be manned up on Decker, since Decker is getting all the highlight reels. So that should definitely open things up for Willis and Thomas, because Cromartie is not quite worth the money that the Jets pay.
Well, he's a gambler. He's a textbook gambler. He's a 6'2" Tebow.
Put it on red.
Yeah, but... Or they might just keep him lined up on the left side since they don't have a true number 1 receiver. They might just keep him on the side and guard whoever's on that side.
Yeah.
But this is the game to really gauge Tebow's effectiveness and how much he's grown. This is the first true good all-around defense.
Yeah, I mean, Rex Ryan has literally written books on how to stop things such as the option. I think it's chapter 8 in one of his books is how to stop the option. And it's an interesting predicament the Broncos are in right now, because I don't think they thought they would be in contention because they are 1 game out of the division. I think that they thought that they would stick Tebow out there and just have him kind of run through all the things that they want him to do, sort of like what happened in the Dolphins and Lions games. And then just see how he tests out on those things. But now that they actually are trying to win, they are just having him do what he knows how to do. But Steve Young, another dynamic left-handed athletic quarterback, thinks that this is a bad idea of just letting him run what he knows how to do. He said on TV that if I was Tebow, I'd be pissed because they're not actually letting him prove that he can play quarterback, because what he's playing isn't really quarterback right now. It's college quarterback. And he says that it's not an accurate representation of what an NFL QB is, and that they're even going so far as to make a fool out of him because what he is running is not sustainable. So when it does break down, it's all going to be blamed on him, and he's not even going to have had a chance to learn really what to do.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, but I think they're waiting to unleash him. I think week after week he is getting more and more accurate, and he's starting to feel it and get more in rhythm. Mm-hmm. He's not a guy that gets in rhythm in 1 game. He just... Once he gets in rhythm during like a season, he tends to stay there.
Yeah. So, and with 8 passes, I made the joke watching the game to you that he was getting in rhythm with those 8 passes, but it was the rhythm of a Buddhist monk in 850 AD.
Yeah, it was very slow beat. But a beat nonetheless. But yeah, so watch the game. I think this Tebow might surprise you. I think they might pass a lot more than people expect.
Plus, number 2 pencils. It's going to be a test.
Ooh. All right, that's all we got for you on the Tebow update. Deuces.